Hello and welcome back to another Sons of the Forest video. Today I'm going to be talking about zip lines, and it's not really a guide. I mean, I will briefly explain things, but it's not going to be an in-depth guide. I just kind of want to show you the potential of zip lines in this game, because I've built what I'm calling an alpine ski lift. Basically, this is the starter island. It's where I built my home base in this first playthrough, and I've created a zip line that will take you from here all the way up to the tippy top of that mountain over there. So, it took a lot of work, obviously. This was not easy, especially at the end, because, spoiler alert, two things. Building things on the mountain is not very easy, and what's even harder is getting all the wood up there. But with all that in mind, it is possible, and I will show you that in this video. But just briefly before we do, if you want to build zip lines, you're going to need a couple things. The first thing you need is the rope gun, and I don't have a guide on it yet, but I plan on making a find guide, so if you want to find that, subscribe to the channel, and that should be coming out within a couple days. I'm working on it. So you need that, and you need zipline rope, and so you can get that by 3D printing printed grappling hooks and combining that with ropes to make these, and you can use those with the rope gun to create zip lines that you can use. And these are not gravity zip lines. Let me switch over to it. Like, they can be, but they don't have to be, so you can go up with them and down. So basically the way that you use these is you aim at a target, and you have to be relatively close to it, and you fire, and then you can aim at another target and fire again and create a zip line. You can actually go pretty far with these things before you've reached your max length. They won't go through stuff, but you don't have to be super above things to go. So obviously you have to keep angles in mind, and it can make climbing up steep things more difficult, obviously. But basically, if you want to set a zip line and you want it, to be max distance with one zip line, you find that distance by walking with it connected from wherever you're planning to go, and it will let you go a certain length before it pops out, so then you know exactly how far you can take your line. So for example, I haven't reached max length yet, and I'm this far away from that post over there. So I'm probably pretty close, but it'll also pop off if I start swimming. So that just shows you that you can actually make these rather long. And like I said, they can go up or down or flat, because the way that you use them is with the rope gun, so they're not, it's not gravity, it's powered. So you can actually use this quite effectively to get around the map. And if you've played the game at all, you know that it's a large map that can be difficult and slow to explore, and the good thing about using a zipline is it doesn't use any more energy than just standing still does, whereas running around is going to drain your cores faster. So if you set up zipline systems around the map, which I've been experimenting with, it can make it significantly easier and faster to navigate the world. And so now, with all of that being said and sort of briefly explained, I'm just going to show you the potential of this. So I'll show you how I made it from here all the way to the top of the mountain. Now, you don't need to watch this if you don't want to, but I find it pretty amusing. Like I said, I spent a long time building this, so I hope you appreciate it. So let's just get to it. All right, and we've arrived at our little alpine cabin up at the very tippy top of the mountain. So we're up real high. And so I guess some lessons learned along the way while building the zipline. You want to make sure wherever you're anchoring the zipline there's a stopping point. So you'll see I started putting walls up in the areas where you want to go. And if you use towers like this, which makes it's obviously harder because you have to get a ton of logs to build one of these towers, and then even more to expand it, build up stuff like this. But it makes it a little bit easier elevation-wise, and it's just a little easier to use in certain areas than trying to use trees. But, so yeah, lessons learned along the way. You want to make sure your rope is anchored in a way so you stop. You hit something and stop. Otherwise, as you saw early on in the zipline thing, you'll like ricochet off, and then you'll have to climb up the thing. The good thing about a system like this is, the unfortunate thing is you have to disattach and reattach a million times to get up here, because ziplines only go so far. The good thing about that is, though, you can get off at any point and get on at any point. And if you have a path like this where it goes back to your home base in the top of the mountain, there's a whole bunch of places along the way. So when I made the zipline course, I stopped at two of those, the little green blinking circles on your radar. One of my, there's a zipline stop by two of them, and like multiple cannibal camps and stuff like that. So you're able to make it so you can rather quickly get around to some looting and scavenging locations. And that's great. I also have several of the ziplines stop off by beds, so you'll have save points within quick access. Another one of the lessons learned is that if you're using the tower, you want to make sure that you mount the zipline in an offset way so you don't fall down that hole, the platform, the hole in the platform that you climb up from the bottom with. So that's why on these ones I started turning the tower sideways and just having a wall to hit and land, and then having the hole in the middle. So that's why these last couple are like that. So that's another thing learned. And another thing is that you can zipline pretty dang close to the ground. You can go through bushes, you can go through branches, but you can't actually go through tree trunks. If your zipline goes through a tree trunk, you will hit it and stop, so you'll have to cut down trees between it. So that's why you'll see I cleared most of the trees and brush between ziplines when we were going through the forest, because that way you don't stop. Zipline travel like this is totally safe. Cannibals, mutants, they don't have enough time to hurt you when you're ziplining through, so they can't really interrupt your transit. The trees and towers themselves will be safe once you zipline away, because the cannibals and mutants will not continue to attack them. So it's a pretty dang good way of traveling. It's fast, it's convenient, it doesn't take as much energy, and like I said, it just makes a lot of sense for getting up to difficult spots. Walking from that home base all the way to the top of this mountain would have taken 10 times as long as ziplining here did, at least. And that would also drain a lot of resources. We got up here and we barely used any of our food and water reserves that we had inside us, I guess. And we get to the top, and we're now at our nice little bed up in the mountain. So I just wanted to show the potential, I guess, of the ziplines in this game and how easy they are to use. And I also just wanted to show off, the thing that took me like 8 hours to build. 8 hours of real time. And like I said, the good thing is you can access every single one of the points from the ground. So you can zipline to a point, get off, and, get back on if you want to. Or if you're running around the map and you find yourself close to one of these points, you can then quickly use it to zipline back to where you were trying to go. So that's really all there is to say about ziplining. The other nice thing about this, especially going up to the top of the mountain, is once you're up here, you can then enjoy sledding. So once you've 3D printed yourself a sled, you can grip it and rip it. Which is fun and mostly stupid, and sometimes it kills you, but it's fun. So that's all there is to say about this video today. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope I've enlightened you on the usefulness of zipline travel in Sons of the Forest. And I guess a little bit of sledding too. Oh, don't go in the river. But that's all for today, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching another Dare to Game video. If you liked this video, please leave a like and a comment. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you like my content and would like to support this channel, consider becoming a member today for as little as $1.99 a month. It makes a huge difference. But in any case, thanks for watching and have a nice day. I'll see you next time.